I'm Scott Stein, and you've come to the cool Ultrabook section of cnet.com, where, hey, if you're looking for something that's slick, stylish, well, here you go, the Samsung Series 9. These things are highly priced, and they want you to buy an Ultrabook that looks great and feels great, and you've seen these things around since last year. Well, this thing is $14.99 and is a 15-inch version of last year's 13-inch model. And hey, you want to be cool, you want to pay up for the price, it is a sleekly designed laptop. This thing is aluminum, has a solid unibody feel like the MacBook Air, and it's a little over half an inch thick, razor thin for its size, and a little over 3 pounds. It feels light. More important towards 3.5 pounds than 3, but it doesn't feel like any 15-inch laptop that we've used, and that's because it's not. And in fact, it's crammed into a chassis that's a bit of a tweener, kind of a little more like a 14-inch laptop in that footprint, yet it still fits a 15-inch screen inside. That's great. Well, what are you going to use it for? That's the question, because this thing basically has the specs of a 13-inch Ultrabook. It's got a Core i5 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, which is nice, and a 128 gigabyte SSD, and that adds up to what you've probably seen on a lot of other laptops. What are you getting in this package? Well, you're getting style, and you're getting really nice construction, and you're getting a bright screen, and well, if that matters to you, well then this is going to feel great to work on, and if it doesn't matter to you, well then go bargain shopping. That's what it boils down to with this laptop. And when you feel it, when you work on it, when I worked on it, I noticed that the keyboard, that shallow keyboard actually feels great to work on, a lot like the MacBook Air. And this is a very large, wide, huge real estate trackpad that's screaming MacBook Air-like. Now it uses an Elan touchpad as opposed to Synaptics if you're a touchpad geek, but it does feel really good, and it's probably one of the better Windows trackpads that I've seen lately. One thing that's really annoying about this 15-incher is it doesn't make any concessions to you for being easier to use. And by that, I mean, Ethernet, HDMI, you'd expect those on a larger laptop. They're here, but they are in micro dongleified modes. You can get Ethernet with an included Ethernet dongle that comes in the box, but it's a micro HDMI, and it's a special display port type that works with VGA with the purchase of a separate cable. So you're up the river if you want to use that thing without packing some cables to go along with it. For your basic MacBook Air or Ultrabook-like needs, sure, it can surf the web and do all those basic things. And it does have a pair of USB 3.0 and one USB 2.0. Thankfully, those are full size, as is an SD card slot. It's exactly what you think it is. It's a magnified version of a Samsung Series 9. Better construction than last year's model that we gushed about. And there is going to be a 13-inch model that comes out this year as well. That's going to be even smaller than last year's 13-inch model. It will be $13.99. This one's $14.99, and you do get double the RAM. If this thing cost under $1,000, I'd be going nuts right now. But the fact that it's $14.99 makes it a tough decision for a lot of people. I do think, however, it's one of the nicest Windows laptops or Ultrabooks that I've ever seen. I'm Scott Stein, and that's a look at the 15-inch Samsung Series 9.
Hey folks, Brian Cooley from cnet.com. Now when we check the performance of a piece of tech, we check the performance of a piece of tech. If you love videos of cars and all their high-tech and high-performance glory, check out the CNET CarTech video podcast, cnet.com/CarTechTV.